Governor Soludo, the reason why you are explaining is because you got caught. And INEC should act fast on you. Because with this you have said, we don't trust the integrity of those elections any longer. It's because you got caught. That's why you explain. You will explain, tire. The truth has to be said. You were announcing it as a trophy for those that did well. It's not your logistical planning, Governor Soludo. And we must hold you to account. This is a professor. This is a professor with a checkered history. The same former CBN governor, preaching integrity and all of that. Now they become politicians, their life change.
All right, so...
I was involved in
campaign.
Political campaigns at the federal level.
Yes.
And also at the state level. So, and I had made the point when this issue first came up, that within the party, and so I can relate to Governor Soludo saying, APGA members who constitute 2%, they are the ones he's referring to mobilize them, because you mobilize party members. Some of them, if you give them money before, they will not deliver. But there's a piece by a guy called Christian Aburime. Christian Aburime, I think, is the Chief Press Secretary in Anambra State. He said when Governor Soludo made that announcement, he said, if you win your ward, this is the reward you will get. The ward that comes first will get 5 million. The one that comes second will get 2 million. The one that comes third will get 1 million. And we will redeem it. That's the thrust of Aburime's article. That the governor did not say he's going to give them before the election. And that the whole idea is about, motivating people to come out en masse to go and vote in a country where voter apathy is a major problem. So that's Aburime's explanation.
Yes, all right.
It's not that they are already distributing money. He said, if you do well, we will compensate you and all that. So that distinction, I don't know how it comes across, but that is what Christian Aburime has put at
So, at large, people, like the civil society groups have, said that it amounts to inducement because you have said it in a rally and, you're telling your ward to go out to have people come and vote for you in particular, correct? And obviously, when they go out to have them come out to vote, isn't it a promise? Yeah. So you're pledging that. Did you hear Governor Soludo say, I will give our ward this amount? So come out and vote. What are you giving those voters who are coming out to vote at the end of the day? That's the question.
I think these are some of the grey areas that are calling on with the Electoral Act to actually define. Because when we talk about inducement, whether it's pre or post, as long as money is involved as a reward for coming out to vote or for voting in particular, it's inducement. It's using money to entice people. Because, like you said, is it come out to vote for the opposition?
It's come out to vote for him. And there is already a cash prize that goes with it.
Need to be really defined.
Whether it is to the team or to the voters, the voters would know that there is a competition out there, and it shouldn't be allowed in Nigerian politics.
Section 22 of the Electoral Act says you cannot buy votes, you cannot sell votes.
That's it.
It's the rule of law that we should insist upon.
All right.
And that's why we are calling for Electoral Offences Commission.
Correct. All right. Well, all right. We'll continue to follow up on the story. Well, let's now turn to the dramatic tension that occurred on Tuesday as two former deputy governors of Edo State, Philip Shuaibu and Omobayo Godwins, clashed over who should represent the state at the former Deputy Governors Forum during its 4th annual national conference. The situation became tense when Omobayo was introduced as the state's former deputy governor at the event, prompting Shuaibu to publicly object. Shuaibu insisted that the introduction was improper, stating that Omobayo was never elected but brought in through the back door. Well, in response, Omobayo described the clash as almost a national disgrace, adding that he never made himself deputy governor. Well, let's listen to what they both had to say after the event.
It was never a former deputy governor of Edo State. He was never elected, though he was brought in from the back door, and the court had to rule on it that he never existed. I think for 3 months that he never existed. And there was a declarative judgment by in Court 8, Federal High Court here, Court 8, Justice Omotosho. And the underlying word is that the office of the deputy governor was never vacant. And that means he never existed as deputy governor. I gave condition for withdrawing the case against him. And the condition was, stop parading yourself as former deputy governor.
I never made myself deputy governor. That should be in proper perspective. And if not for what happened, because it almost seemed like a national disgrace, I would have left it at that. Because, like I said, I never made myself deputy governor. Even if it's for 1 second, I can even give you my pay slip. I was there from April to November. And in fact, the new APC government that came in paid me my November salary. It's there. I can print my account statement for you. So I don't know what must have led to all of that. But it's a sad reality that he must have to live with. He's my elder brother. We are from the same constituency. We don't have to disgrace ourselves. He's my senior brother, no doubt about it. And it's somebody I respect, I owe a high esteem. If not for the open national disgrace, I would have. I've always tried to dodge this, but I give him his respect as my elder brother. But come on, this is not right.
We don't have to disgrace ourselves. Our producer was asking, what's the benefit of this deputy governor? But we know that Philip Shuaibu was impeached as Edo deputy governor in April 2024 and replaced by Omobayo Godwins, but a court later ruled the impeachment unlawful and reinstated him. However, Shuaibu was not physically reinstated, and Omobayo completed the tenure with former Governor Obaseki. This public confrontation exposes the unresolved legal and political complications surrounding Edo's deputy governorship succession, with both men claiming legitimacy based on competing court rulings and political realities. Rufy on fire.
So I think, in all fairness, Shuaibu got a court injunction nullifying what happened. So what happened was, you remember when Obaseki and Dr. Batsi, life no good though. Because now you're saying, where's Obaseki? Like, where is he? That's true. Where's Governor Obaseki?
I'm sure he's in Edo State.
No, in Nigeria. It's not in Nigeria.
No, I don't know.
I don't know where. He's resting where?
It's on a break.
Okay,
he should come back.
No,
I mean, I've just missed him.
Okay.
He's my very good friend. I've just missed him. We should come back to Nigeria. We need to. So that when that squabble was happening, and he removed him as deputy governor and he put in Omobayo. But truly, Shuaibu did go to court and he got a court ruling. And the court ruling was that that process never existed. So in the face of the law, Omobayo doesn't exist as deputy governor. But the curious part is that Okpebolo's government is still paying Omobayo his dues and everything. You see, these are part of the inefficiencies of this Okpebolo government. Is it that they didn't even see, as we speak, the court ruling? Is it that they didn't even follow the story? You know, even if Omobayo's claim is true, it's even more painful that the same Shuaibu that campaigned and stood with Okpebolo, you're not still paying the same people that worked against Shuaibu. No, this is Madu. Man kill man. No. Okpebolo Shuaibu was supposed to be your
I had a few questions.
Ally.
Oh, your questions.
But the truth is, please, Shuaibu should be recognized as deputy governor.
Right.
Yes.
So based on this, there's no rule of law versus political reality. It's the rule of law, end and simple.
Yes, now.
If the court has ruled, then like he said, who appointed him? He was not. It doesn't exist. And so I have some questions this morning, because remember that when this happened, we had asked that, is he going to refund the salaries that were paid to him in the 4 months or however number of months that he was deputy governor, now not recognized by law? Number two is that, is he getting any form of, compensation post? You know how we talk about this governor and deputy governor allowances after their time in office? I hope that those state money is not going to pay him, because if he was not, if he has not been recognized by the court, he's not recognized. If Governor Obaseki wants to pay him out of pocket, that is his prerogative. But in the face of the law, according to the law, in respect of the rule of law, he was not recognized. And then finally, I just want to make the point that it is important that we also understand, how did he get an invitation to this former deputy governor?
I can see a smirk on Dr. Abati's face.
You know, while the rule of law is important, but in this kind of situation, you know also that you can be in a position de facto. So you can say you were there in that position, whether by right or not. And then you can have the right, the entitlement to be there by law. Then you are de jure. So this is a de facto, de jure, deputy governors fighting each other.
Two fights.
And this is the kind of mess that politicians create as a result of, prioritizing their ego far and above the interest of the people.
All right.
This is what we are seeing in this particular case. However, the bigger question is this thing they call a forum of deputy governors that is holding annual conferences. This is their 4th annual conference. Is it a creation of law or is it just a talking shop? Of what value is former deputy governors coming together? Because I don't know of any substantial thing that either came out of this conference or previous conferences that they had. You have a former ministers annual conference, a former deputy governors annual conference. Now, people should, once you leave office, go and find work to do. Instead of creating an ideal assembly of jobless people, looking for titles, former deputy governor, former minister.
And that day I was in the newsroom. Guess what? Everyone was carrying it live. All the TV stations. I mean, come on.
So who is funding it? Maybe in the future we will have former association of TV and courts. Association of former TV and courts.
Clarification of that factor du jury. Who do they pay?
No, you raised the relevant question.
I think that payment is an oversight.
Should they even be paid? Exactly. Should they even be paid? Once you finish the assignment, go and find jobs to do.
Very well said, Dr. Pati.
You become a rent collector. Collecting state resources for doing nothing. Former deputy governor. What is the meaning of that?
In this former deputy governor. Let's take this one story now in Edo State. We'll highlight this a shocking video showing a violent altercation between a driver and some Federal Road Safety Corps officers in the middle of the road. Well, the incident, which took place over the weekend, showed the driver aggressively hitting an officer who also fights back as onlookers attempted to break up the fight. Let's take a look.
Hey, imagine you want the steering. What they break it all over here. What they lamon stand driver here. What do me me cabo goes side the driver headed to some pay order to the Cobo, my wife was about to cock any ebo, or low foul, got on sell you. Yeah, imagine if I was a teacher about 30 pay go over any year for low, or I break it over, oh Lord, lucky mama the steering. And now, go got to go my selling. In Nigeria, need to low fit on the joy that don't love about only joy, go selling. And don't want no uniform, officer of the law. So I come out, Jan, no uniform. Just because of common change. Only for our and say, yeah, let me share video. Go count down.
That's the right question. Should the officers be fighting in uniform just because of change? But should that driver be flogging those officers? I mean, come on. Well, the Federal Road Safety Corps has reacted to this incident. They posted a statement on X stating that the Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed has expressed deep concern over this incident and has ordered an immediate investigation into what happened. But this has sparked conversations around the frustration with certain road officials and their practices, as well as allegations against, them extorting drivers on the road. A quick comment, and then we'll move to our other story really quickly.
We often talk about the overzealousness of some officials. I'm glad that the commander has said he's going to investigate. I think beyond investigating is that we have to see reports and we have to see consequences. We always hear about investigations, yet you go on the road and nothing happens. We see impunity, asking for money, stopping, cars that look healthy and leaving the ones that are half off the road. And so beyond these investigations, let us actually see a change in the code of conduct for these men in uniform. And beyond that, I also think that the man who flogged him should be brought to book as well. It is not acceptable. Absolutely. We must respect our men in uniform, but also the men in uniform should act in a manner that would earn the respect of the Nigerian people.
This video was quite shocking when I saw it, Aya. Well, we'll take another story now. Nigerian actress and philanthropist Sarah Martin was arrested in Lagos for cooking on a street median for the less privileged, has taken her charitable work global, sparking a renewed conversation about her controversial arrest back home. Just weeks after the incident, Martin shared a video showing her undertaking a similar project in Ottawa, Canada. The footage shows Martins preparing, packing, and serving meals to a long queue of grateful people. Let's take a look. Rufai is laughing. This video has drawn comparisons to the Lagos incident online with, some highlighting a seeming irony, saying that her act of generosity that resulted in public humiliation in her home country is now being celebrated and welcomed on the international stage, while others pointed out that the Canadian video, Martins appears to be operating from a proper kitchen, suggesting her methods were more appropriate than her choice to cook on a public street in Nigeria.
You see, in Nigeria, they can do rubbish. Yes. So why did she go and cook in the middle of the road in Canada?
Yes.
So please, all of this, I just think is part of the hype and all of that. And for those that give her money, because we've now gone to see empirical fact. It was dollars they gave her, and they said it was from a foundation that has something to do with the son of the president. That did not work. You know me, I'll go and do my empirical facts. In fact, they said it was from one woman from a particular agency on behalf of Noella. People gave her money to be able to spin it politically and support this rubbish. So the presidents are coming out to deny and saying, I have nothing to do with it. It didn't work.
All right.
So I support Lagos State government wholeheartedly. If Sarah Martins cannot cook on the road in Canada, that she cook in a proper kitchen, why did she do it in Nigeria? Just show that it's in Nigeria, people can do all sorts of rubbish and get away with it, and because of public sympathy and social media buzz.
All right, Dr. Abasi.
Well, this is why it is important to have order in a society. When you have order, there will be discipline. And where there is no discipline, serious-minded societies apply the sanctions. Now, this is why you see a difference in terms of the behavior of leaders, not just Sarah Martins, even most Nigerians. When they are abroad, if they say queue up, they will queue up. Go to Heathrow, everybody is well behaved. Let them get to Murtala Mohammed Airport. The same people will change. They will begin to shout, they will begin to misbehave. Our leaders go to Dubai, they go to Doha, they see everywhere so well organized. When they come to their own country here, they give excuses. I think the only way we can move forward in this country is for people to respect order and discipline. Yes. The Lagos State Task Force said Sarah Martins was constituting a nuisance on the streets of Lagos because she will stay in the middle of the road, by the median, and she'll be cooking.
Yeah.
It will be disturbing the traffic, and then the cooking will be done publicly, and then the food will be distributed, and, maybe just to create content. But in Canada, she went to a proper kitchen.